Welcome to Rising Parent, your go-to podcast for navigating the holiday hustle and bustle. I'm your host, Vanessa, and Tim and Edna are here to help you turn holiday stress into holiday cheer. But first, please subscribe to our podcast for more expert advice and to help us continue providing valuable content to support you on your parenting journey. In this episode, Edna and Tim will dive into practical tips for managing expectations, creating a peaceful home environment, and finding joy in the season. They'll also explore the importance of self-care and mindfulness during the holidays. So, grab a cup of cocoa and let's make this holiday season the best one yet.
Hey there, fellow parents and caregivers. Ready for a deep dive into something we all think about this time of year? How to survive the holidays.
Yeah.
Without losing our sanity. Because, let's be honest, as much as we love the holidays, that magical feeling often comes with, well, a heaving side of pressure and chaos.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
But the good news is, it doesn't have to be a holiday meltdown every year. We've got this great article, 10 tips for preventing holiday stress for parents and children, and we are going to unpack it for you. Trust me, it's full of realistic, actionable advice. No cheesy Hallmark movie fantasies here.
Okay, so let's ditch those unrealistic expectations right from the start. The article's first tip is all about setting realistic expectations. And I think this is so important. We're constantly bombarded with images of picture-perfect holidays. But in reality, who hasn't had a holiday mishap or two? I remember one Thanksgiving, I completely forgot the cranberry sauce. I ended up telling everyone it was a new, trendy, cranberry-free recipe. And you know what? Nobody even noticed.
That's brilliant. And it highlights a key point. It's not about lowering your standards. It's about aligning your expectations with reality. The holidays are about creating happy memories, even amidst imperfections. And sometimes those imperfections become the funniest stories later on.
So true. Now, the article doesn't just tell us to chill out and expect the unexpected. It also dives into some practical planning strategies.
Right.
Which is where tips 2, 3, 4, and 6 come in.
Right, because a little bit of planning goes a long way in preventing holiday stress. The article talks about budgeting early, because those holiday expenses can really sneak up on you, making lists, and even involving your kids in age-appropriate tasks.
Yes. Getting the kids involved is genius. Even little ones can help wrap presents or decorate. It makes them feel part of the excitement, and it takes some of the pressure off of you.
Exactly. And speaking of taking the pressure off, the article also emphasizes preparing for the unexpected, those last-minute gift requests, surprise guests, or even those times when your perfectly planned holiday meal goes awry. Having some generic gifts on hand, a few freezer meals ready to go, and staying in communication with your kids' teachers and coaches about holiday events all can make a world of difference.
You're speaking my language. Having a stash of frozen pizzas on hand sounds like a lifesaver right about now. But you know what really caught my eye? Tip number 5. It actually encourages us to revise or even ditch traditions that have become more stressful than enjoyable.
Yes, I love this one. It's so refreshing to have permission to break free from those obligations that are no longer serving us. It's easy to get caught up in the we've always done it this way mentality, but the holidays should evolve with your family's needs and values.
That's so important. So instead of feeling trapped by those elaborate cookie baking marathons, or the pressure to send out picture-perfect holiday cards, what are some ways families can adapt or create new traditions that are more meaningful and less stressful?
Well, instead of that marathon baking session, maybe you set aside one afternoon to make a simple treat with your kids, and then donate the rest to a local shelter. Or if those holiday cards are feeling like a chore, maybe you switch to a family photo e-card and spend that extra time volunteering together as a family. The possibilities are endless.
I love that. It's about finding those traditions that bring you joy, not stress. And speaking of joy, the article also highlights something that's often overlooked during the holiday rush: self-care. Tips 7 and 9 are all about making sure you are taken care of amidst all the chaos.
Because let's be honest, you can't pour from an empty cup. The holidays can be incredibly demanding, especially for parents and caregivers. The article reminds us that even small acts of self-care, a quick walk in nature, 5 minutes of meditation, or just curling up with a good book, can make a huge difference in your overall well-being.
It's like giving yourself permission to recharge.
Yeah.
So you can be more present and patient with your kids, right?
Exactly. And when we're feeling less stressed and more grounded, we're better equipped to handle those inevitable holiday hiccups. And it's not just about taking care of ourselves, it's also about teaching our kids the importance of giving back. Tip 9 suggests involving kids in acts of service during the holidays, which is such a beautiful way to connect with your community and instill values of compassion and gratitude.
I love that idea. It takes the focus off the getting and shifts it to the giving, which can be so grounding during a season that's often very commercially driven.
Absolutely. Whether it's volunteering at a soup kitchen, donating toys to children in need, or simply helping an elderly neighbor with their groceries, acts of service can be incredibly rewarding for both kids and adults. And it can be a wonderful way to create new family traditions centered around kindness and generosity.
And while we're on the subject of healthy habits, the article also touches on something that's near and dear to every parent's heart: the holiday sugar rush. Tips 8 and 10 urge us to be mindful of all the sugary treats and remember the true meaning of the holidays.
Of course, it wouldn't be the holidays without a little indulgence, but it's about finding that healthy balance. The article reminds us that too much sugar can lead to those dreaded meltdowns and mood swings, especially in kids, so continuing healthy eating habits as much as possible is key. Maybe you offer fruit platters alongside those cookies, or encourage kids to choose one special treat instead of going overboard.
Right, it's all about moderation, not deprivation. And ultimately, tip 10 brings us back to the heart of it all, focusing on connection, gratitude, and the true spirit of the holidays. What does that look like in a practical sense, especially for busy families?
It can be as simple as putting down your phone, being present with your loved ones, and truly savoring those unfiltered moments that make the holidays special. Encourage your kids to express gratitude for what they have, and model that behavior yourself. Maybe start a gratitude jar where everyone writes down something they're thankful for each day.
I love that. It's a great way to shift the focus away from material things and towards those intangible gifts that truly matter, like love, laughter, and connection.
Exactly. The article emphasizes the importance of creating those meaningful experiences that you'll cherish long after the presents are unwrapped and the decorations are put away. It's about slowing down, enjoying the simple pleasures, and appreciating the gift of time spent together.
So you've given us a lot to think about as we head into the holiday season. What's the one key takeaway you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I think the biggest takeaway is you have the power to create a holiday season that's both joyful and manageable. It starts with letting go of those unrealistic expectations and embracing the perfectly imperfect reality of the holidays. Remember, it's not about doing it all or making everything picture perfect. It's about prioritizing connection, gratitude, and those special moments that create lasting memories.
So well said. I feel like this deep dive has given us permission to relax, breathe, and actually enjoy the holidays instead of just surviving them. And it all starts with setting realistic expectations.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to delegate tasks, involve your kids in the planning and preparation, and give yourself permission to say no to things that drain your energy.
And if those gingerbread houses end up looking a little wonky,
Yeah.
or the holiday cookies get a little overbaked, well,
Yeah.
that's just part of the charm.
Exactly. Embrace those imperfections. And remember that the holidays are about so much more than the outward trappings.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. A huge thank you to all of you for joining us today. But before we go, we want to leave you with one final thought. Think about one holiday tradition that you could tweak or let go of this year to make the season less stressful and more enjoyable for you and your family. Maybe it's simplifying your gift giving, opting out of that annual holiday party that leaves you feeling drained, or even just giving yourself permission to order takeout instead of slaving over a 5-course meal.
It's a powerful question to consider. When we prioritize what truly matters and let go of the things that don't, we open ourselves up to experiencing the magic of the holidays in a whole new way.
Here's to a holiday season filled with joy, connection, and maybe even a little bit of peace and quiet for all of us.
And that's a wrap. We hope this episode has inspired you to create a more peaceful and joyful holiday season. Remember, it's all about setting realistic expectations, prioritizing self-care, and cherishing the moments with loved ones. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more expert advice and to help us continue providing valuable content to support you on your parenting journey. Until next time, happy holidays.